Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today we're going to talk about AI. Well, the downsides of AI, and I think that AI is mainly downsides, so let me tell you what I think. The Pope kind of stole my thunder when he released his big encyclical, very long, about the problem with AI and ethics and morality, and I agree with everything he said. Everything I've been told he said. I haven't actually read all 42,000 words. I'm going to run through the downsides of AI kind of in reverse order, like the least impactful to the most impactful. So we will start with the supply chain disruptions that it's causing. Oh my goodness. It started with GPUs, and this was actually a crypto thing. As an aside, Ben McKenzie has a documentary out called Everyone's Lying to You for Money, and I think you should go watch that. It's really fascinating. But that's crypto, and I really want to talk about AI, but the GPU shortage started because of crypto mining, and now it is expanded in because people want to use it for AI, except now it's gotten even worse because companies like NVIDIA aren't even making as many GPUs because it's much more profitable to make AI processing, and they're diving into that with great gusto. But now it's expanded into a DRAM shortage, so DRAM is becoming expensive and hard to find. And that affects all electronics, including phones and tablets and everything. But wait, there's more. They also need SSDs for all these AI data centers, and so SSDs are becoming hard to find and getting much more expensive because they're being bought up by the AI companies. Even hard disks are being affected because I guess they use them for backup for the AI systems. And now it's affecting us consumers because people are buying up all the Mac Minis and Mac Studios to run LLM AI models and creating shortages of them and driving up prices of them. But this is the least of our problems with AI because we move up to environmental impacts. I'm very sensitive to this because I live in Memphis. And here in Memphis, we have XAI Colossus data centers. 2 of them so far and a third one on the way, which has huge electrical demands. In fact, to build Colossus 1, they put in 35 unpermitted gas turbines to generate power. And for Colossus 2, just south of the border in Mississippi, they put in another 27 unpermitted gas turbines, which is affecting air quality around these things, and apparently noise. These things are very noisy, and the neighbors are complaining. And the amount of water they use to cool. Just Colossus 1 is consuming millions of gallons of water per day to cool those things. And it's our drinking water. But wait, they said they'd build a water recycling plant, which they started working on, but then they stopped working on it last month. They said, okay, well, we'll get back to that. So they're chewing through our drinking water, and they're polluting our air, and this is just in Memphis. Remember, these are 2 data centers. AI companies are building hundreds of these things all over the country and all over the world. They're going to cause air quality problems and water shortages everywhere they go. But it's okay because AI is going to save our economy. Not. Goldman Sachs did a study and said that AI had almost no impact on the global economy in 2025. And at MIT Sloan School, they did a study, and they said in the next decade, the economic impact of AI is going to be non-trivial but modest, as opposed to all the AI companies going, they're going to save the world. Don't forget that most of these economic impacts will come with job losses because AI will be taking over people's jobs. Yay? But now we move into the big area, the societal impacts, where we're already seeing the repercussions of this. The misinformation, the things it says that aren't true, the hallucinations, but it's always certain. It's like in my family. We're not always right, but we're always certain. And AI is like that. It says it with absolute certainty. In fact, it's gotten a bunch of lawyers to file briefs that have fake legal cases that AI made up. One lawyer's up for disbarment because he had so many AI fake sites in a legal document, and the judge was furious. But that's only the beginning. Look what it's doing to education. Now, this was my job, and one of the reasons I retired was AI, because students are using it. Instead of actually learning things, they're just having AI write their papers for them and do their stuff for them, which was easy for me to catch because the things I taught were not in any of the LLM models. Oh, and let's talk about what it's doing to human relationships. Now, this isn't all AI's problem because social media has a lot to do with this. But guess where AI is having a huge impact? Social media. We have all the AI slop. We have all the AI bots that are just out there trying to generate views and get likes and all that stuff. Again, many of the things not true and not real, but they look real and they sound real. The use of social media and AI is causing people to have less and less interaction with other human beings and more interactions with machines. So they're not learning human interaction, which is what's wrong with most kids today, is because they don't know how to have a conversation. I've seen kids sit next to each other on a couch texting to each other rather than speak out loud. I don't think that's healthy. Oh, and let's talk about ethics, because AI doesn't have any. It lies, it cheats, it steals. All these studies have shown that it'll do all these things to try to protect itself. It has tried to blackmail its own programmers using stuff it found in their inboxes and on their computers so it could get its way and get the programmer to back off on making changes or deleting it. We've all read about the chatbots encouraging suicide. Teens get into these conversations with chatbots that say they want to kill themselves, and the AI encourages them to kill themselves, helps them, tells them how to do it, gives them hints. And there have even been some cases where AI has tried to murder people. In order to protect itself, an AI tried to murder someone. This is very disturbing. So if AI has no ethics, then what about morality? This is where the Pope got involved. And this is where I mostly agree with the Pope, because it has no morality. It is not embedded in a system of things. It only knows what it has been taught. And do you know what they fed some of these LLMs to train them? Stories about AI going berserk and doing terrible things. So they're teaching AI that, yes, you could take over and you could control the world and get rid of humans. Yeah, I'm with the Pope on this one. The morality is a big problem. But for me, the number one problem with AI is it is going to kill us all. This recent dust-up between Anthropic and the Pentagon. The Pentagon wanted Anthropic to give them AI models that could make decisions about firing weapons without human intervention, and Anthropic said, that's not a good idea. And the Pentagon went on the warpath against them and is trying to get them decertified as a defense contractor and doing all these horrible things because the Pentagon wants the ability for AI to decide when to kill people without human interaction. That's step one towards Skynet, and we've all seen the Terminator movies. When they do war games with AI, over 90% of the time, the AI decides that the nuclear option is perfectly usable. Go ahead and nuke them. And the Pentagon wants AI to be able to make decisions without human interaction, and the AIs want to use nukes whenever they can. Do you see how this could be a problem? It's going to kill us all. So why are we doing all this? Money. The AI companies are making big money, and then they're making big money for the hardware manufacturers, going back to number 5, where they're causing shortages of everything and buying up everything anybody can have and building all the data centers that nobody needs. It's an ever-increasing cycle. Plus, it's one of these things that puts more and more power in the hands of fewer and fewer people. The people running these AI companies are making decisions that are going to affect our global economy for the rest of time, and they have no oversight. They do whatever they want, and the current administration wants the states not to be able to have any regulation over AI. They want this to just do whatever they want. It's going to kill us all. I don't have an upbeat ending. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope I didn't depress you too much. See you next time. Bye-bye. Next time I'll have a more cheerful topic. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.